everyone. I wanted to fire this one off real quick before I definitely probably bail on this party I'm supposed to go to. But what really stopped me and started to ponder. For all old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Another year over. The passage of time. Party to forget. Party to consolidate power. Party like it's mandatory. Today is a choose your own adventure with Moulin Rouge that came out in 2001, with Babylon that came out in 2022, or Society that came out in 1989 with Caligula the Ultimate Cut, which came out in 2023. Or if you're a true ass crazy person on this New Year's Eve, you can do all fucking four. Now, not a fan of New Year's resolutions, and in fact, fuck them. To me, it's a bunch of empty promises made by weak cowards. No follow through, no motivation, no willpower. Resolutions are for fucking losers. So, of course, I did make one this year, and of course, it all relates back to movies. A movie that I think about so very often. So ingrained in my formative years, Bloodsport. God, I couldn't get enough of it. And everyone thought I had such a crush on Van Damme because I just cruised through his filmography. And sure, I did have a little bit of a crush on him, but they were wrong in the fact that it was more that I wanted to be him. And the kicks, the splits, the fucking attitude. He was so damn cool, man. And Bloodsport, well, it could do no wrong in my eyes, and I've been thinking about it a lot at the closing of this year. No time like the present to move to Thailand in order to seek out the mythical Ring of Death on the Muay Thai circuit. Oh, yeah. And I'll crush the competition by covertly and expertly administering a dose of lethal poison before each match so my enemy drops dead promptly as he steps in the ring. Oh, my mysticism will frighten them. My power off the charts. Oh, my championship all but assured. Of course, I'll be known as the Blue-Eyed Devil. And this comes with an extra thrill of knowing that one day an opponent discovers my schemes, administers an antidote, and I gotta fight him to the death for real. It's kind of the only thing keeping me going right now, guys. But a more common way that people blow off steam. What comes before part B? Of course, part A. Never more prevalent in the first two that I have for you tonight. Can't stop, won't stop, refusing to face the copious amounts of pain behind that. Whoa! Well, my fantasy and someday very soon reality. More on the Herman Melville side of self-destruction. These gals and star-crossed lovers express themselves in admittedly a much more glamorous and chic way. Sex work in Hollywood. What's the difference? Am I right? But fame, recognition, it'll build you up to great heights. But eventually, all things must fall. Now, Baz Luhrmann is a guy on paper I should hate. Musicals are ridiculous past the point of any understandable absurdism to me. And I love the absurd, but musicals border on whimsical. Theater, ooh, whoa, a chilling place to be, but I mostly love Baz. I think Tom Hanks should have at least won the Golden Globe for his performance in Elvis. It's avant-garde. He totally understood the assignment and he showed up accordingly, which became absolute perfection. Similar to Harold Zidler in Moulin Rouge. And really, these two would actually make a great double feature. Father wounds, self-destruction, letting their desperation for adoration be their guide. It's also fun and ridiculous, like watching a circus where the clowns all die, coughing up blood. And what a performance it would be! The only one in existence, the exclusivity, the mythicization, the cost of their lives. And Ewan, well, he's never been hotter, even as Obi-Wan, and I don't admit that to many people, but he's so damn cute in this movie. But it's not just him. It's like it's the songs, it's the sets, it's the costumes, the chemistry. The characters all come together to make pretty much a perfect piece. Probably what Molly feels like. I mean, I can only imagine. Because in the same vein, I've always been too afraid of the eventual soul embering crash. Such great heights, such great depths. Bipolar Baz, wow, he gives us something really special, and yet soul crushingly sad. This is a promise, but also a threat to the new year, new me mantra. Yes, there will be a new you, but you must rise painstakingly from the ashes of old into the new. There's also a moon who sings in an opera voice. So, it's not all bad. It's pretty great, but ends on a real sour note. Now, Babylon Battalion, rise up. It's our time. It's our year. It's our trumpet. This is our end where we get to watch Avatar in the 1920s. And it's beautiful. Our greatest flaws also create our greatest beauty. The end's not for Manny to know, but for history to find out. Every generation contributing to the moving, growing, adapting time capsule may chew up and spit out individuals, but also leaves them immortalized at their absolute best. Vicariously is the closest most people will ever get to this feeling. Manny becomes the only person to understand and realize that movies are much bigger than him and good. This is really the only way that they mean something. And that's where people go wrong. I have to be special. I gotta be unique. I have to leave my individual mark on the world. Nothing is created without collaboration. Creative individualism screams, I value the showmanship instead of the work. Your existence becoming a vacuum, sucking up anything that will keep you full so that you never have to sit alone with all the pointless shit you've acquired. A failing cycle of validation, booze, pills, powders. Years go by, but you stay the absolute same. Always exhaustingly one step ahead of having to face your own nothingness. It's stunning when Brad Pitt is shithoused on set, continuously drinking to get himself through a perfect 30-second shot. Those seconds on screen is the only time he can bearably allow himself to be anything but a guy with everything, and yet nothing behind those eyes. We all mean nothing ultimately, and how lovely it would be to be so vapid, so simple, so witty, you simply float through existence until the wind just stops blowing. Knowing no other way, no other thoughts than what you came into this world with. Consume, imbibe until you return to the darkness that birthed you. As you quickly grow more and more sentience, the only objective is to get wrecked. Remain an infant. Return to the comforts of the womb. Reject the memory of what it felt like to be ripped away from the last shred of complete stasis. Partying is not just for the self destructive, it's also for fans of complete sadistic annihilation. Consume, slurp, slop, melt into human taffy with all your closest pals. Is this an alien ritual, you may ask? Oh, no, 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 you sweet poor soul. This is your own society. But 1989 was too innocent of a year. For example, they had to make the daughter the parents were fucking of age because it wasn't unthinkable that the elites were sick, but would they stoop so low to be pedophile sick? Hmm. A sweeter time when the sickest crimes imaginable were merely incest. But Society is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's vile, disgusting, grotesque, and just a down-home good time. And the parties are killer, brah. Only, literally. The elites can't help themselves. All is available for their pleasure. Instead of partying themselves to death, they decide to kill, torture, maim their pain away. After all, this world is theirs for the taking, and the checks and balances are gonna stop them. Send your strongly worded letter to Congress. The law is on our side. The legislative system's in our vice grip. You'll be chewed up, but not merely spit out. Shit out. And if you cross their path, well, your luck goes with it. Who cares if you have to turn into creatures from Cronenberg's Sexual Awakening? The cruelty is simply divine, much like Caligula, picked by the gods themselves, plucked from the heavens to craft hell. And he does a great job of it, sadistic, salacious, sexually depraved. But if you watch the ultimate cut, which is closer to the vision that Gore Vidal had in 1979, it's a tamer descent into syphilitic tyranny. Focus more on the artistry rather than the debauchery. About Caligula, I don't know which one more fits the vibe. It always, like, the 1979 one always drew me in like a Kilgore Trout novel, like maybe genius surrounded by filth. That's how I like to think of him anyway. It's like on the flip side, maybe he can only find a home in these publications because he's trash. But at the very least, he thinks what he's making is of high cultural value. And maybe that's what this is. The actors, the production designer, the costumers all working their asses off while their art is intercut with soulless smut. And I sort of like that version of things, even though the ultimate cut is the better movie. But this is New Year's, and we're all about the partying way, so watch whatever you think is best. And sometimes that doesn't mean the complete abuse of the human form and civilization at large. Sometimes you just like to watch people fucking. Something that Caligula himself would give a wink and a nod. I mean, of course, rascal work compared to the idea of sex he's created, but he's proud of you for practicing whatever form of debasement is right for you. He's a late stage partier, bringing the rager lifestyle to the inevitable conclusion, a god complex. And destroying yourself, well, everything must go. Existence will eventually become unbearable. Not existence, the only salvation. In a world where one can have it all, the elites eventually weep for the dying light. When there's no more souls left to conquer. I've existed from the morning of the world, and I shall exist until the last star falls from the night. Everything ends, ladies and gentlemen. So, with the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026, how will you celebrate and welcome in the last night of the year? Self destruction or complete annihilation? Remember, self betterment is a false flag, mere distraction, a psyop. The end is all around us, but we're too focused on ourselves to see it, desperate for the illusion of control. Anything to silence the sounds of crumbling, numb the bolts of panic and dread. An unstoppable, destructive, usurping force meeting brittle, burned out society. So gather round with each new year, we live on the flippant and borrowed generosity of the ruling class. Tonight, I want us to remember all our friends, even those separated by distance or time. Toast the ones here today and to all those we've lost along the way. It's been a terrible run, guys. Create chaos, have fun, never play it safe, and have a happy new year.